Hello Vavers, you're watching YouTube channel Daily USA News Alert. What? Hack says US should have never retaliated against Al-Qaeda after 9/11. Once again, freshman Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has landed herself in the middle of controversy, after making another outlandish remark. Daily Caller reported that Ocasio-Cortez seemed to declare the entire war on terror to have been disastrous plus wrong in a series of tweets Monday night. She was not only speaking about the Iraq War, but the war in Afghanistan against Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, the group behind the 9/11 terrorist attacks, as well as their enablers and protectors, the Taliban government. Socialist Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, DNY, made radical statements Monday night on Twitter, suggesting that the United States should not have authorized the use of force against those who perpetrated the 9/11 attacks, the deadliest terrorist attack in world history. Ocasio-Cortez's comments came as she was defending Representative Ilhan Omar's, DNY, most recent anti-Semitic remarks from over the weekend. It is disturbing that Rep. Omar continues to perpetuate hurtful anti-Semitic stereotypes that misrepresent our Jewish community. Additionally, questioning support for the U.S.-Israel relationship is unacceptable, Democrat Representative Juan Vargas, California, tweeted. Israel has and remains a stalwart ally of the United States because of our country's shared interests and values. I condemn her remarks and believe she should apologize for her offensive comments. Ocasio-Cortez responded in a dishonest manner, suggesting that Vargas was calling out Omar's foreign policy stances, not her anti-Semitism. I'm curious if Rep. Vargas will further explain his stance here that it's unacceptable to even question U.S. foreign policy, Ocasio-Cortez tweeted. Plenty of Dem members have asserted that discussion plus debate on this issue is fair and merited. Is this stance a departure from that? Ocasio-Cortez continued with another tweet that contained some false information. I remember a time when it was unacceptable to question the Iraq War. All of Congress was wrong, including both GOP and Dem Party, and led my generation into a disastrous plus wrong war that virtually all would come to regret, except for the one member who stood up, Barbara Lee. After being called out for the tweet's inaccuracies, Ocasio-Cortez clarified that she meant the Afghanistan war, and added, but honestly we shouldn't have been in either, and we should end the OMF now while we're at it. Ocasio-Cortez plainly stated that all of Congress was wrong was to vote in favor of the authorization to use military force, OMF, and that Barbara Lee was correct for not voting for it. The OMF was passed with Lee's lone dissenting vote on September 14, 2001. 3 days after terrorists from Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda organization crashed commercial airliners into the World Trade Center, Pentagon and a field in Pennsylvania, killing more than 3,000 people, the Huffington Post reported. The Hill noted that the OMF authorizes the president to use all necessary and appropriate force against those nations, organizations, or persons he determines planned, authorized, committed, or aided the terrorist attacks that occurred on September 11, 2001, or harbored such organizations or persons, in other words, Al-Qaeda and the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. On September 11, 2001, 19 militants associated with the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States, History.com reported. 2 of the planes were flown into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, a 3rd plane hit the Pentagon just outside Washington, D.C., and the 4th plane crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. Almost 3,000 people were killed during the 9/11 terrorist attacks, which triggered major U.S. initiatives to combat terrorism and define the presidency of George W. Bush.